Hey, good morning, family. Pastor Art here with your Manna and Coffee. You know what? I read a post this morning on Facebook, as I normally do, and this one caught my eye. And I was like, wow, amazing. This guy organized a group in LA to go and clean up trash in the streets of LA. You know, one of the most richest cities around in California, aside from Frisco and Northern Cal. But they spent nothing and got a group of volunteers and cleaned up 50 tons of trash and rat-infested trash that were on the streets. They said the minute they started moving bags, rats would run. You know, that's a problem in itself. Now think of LA. You're walking down LA, you know, and you see homeless there, and you think, these people are sleeping with rats. It's rat infested. You know, you thought when people talked about Philadelphia being a rat hole, well, LA is a rat hole too, and so is Orange County. Just about any city. You know, I live in Riverside, and Riverside's a rat hole too. We got homeless here too as well. You know, but I thought about it, and it said that the taxpayers of the state of California have given over $1 billion to our leaders of this state to combat homelessness. $1 billion. But yet you have people like Gil Garcetti, who is the mayor of California, who's told the news he didn't want to meet with Trump, but if Trump wants to help clean up the homeless problem, he needs to kick in some federal dollars. Dude, you got $1 billion. What are you guys doing it? You and Gavin Newsom and the rest of your cronies. You know, it reminds me of a story in the Bible. Turn with me to Luke chapter 16. And it says, "And he said unto his disciples, There was a certain rich man which had a steward, and the same was accused unto him that he had wasted his goods." Now, I'm going to put the rich man as the taxpayers of California, okay? And we had a steward, Gavin Newsom, who is our governor, and then all of those little peons that he has called Democratic mayors. And they were accused of wasting money. Well, here's a good fact right here. Volunteers had to clean up 50 tons of trash because the $1 billion that were given in our taxes to clean up the homeless problem has not been used to clean up the homeless problem. It's always tied up in red tape. And it says, "And he called him," in other words, the rich man called the steward, "and said unto him, How is it that I hear this of thee? Give an account of thy stewardship, for thou mayest be no longer steward." He called them to accountability. You know, $1 billion is a lot of money. I think $1 billion would at least get a couple buildings to house these people, to give them running water and toilet facilities. You know, we have people, it's been, you know, there was a lady who was at a real fancy restaurant. She said while she was looking out the window, this homeless guy just dropped trowel and defecated on the street right in front of this restaurant. And that's what they're cleaning up. You know, some cities have to hire people to come in and power wash and disinfect the streets because of all the fecal matter and urine that the homeless people are now depositing right on the street. They're not even looking for a place to go that's approved, like an outhouse or something, because there are none. When you don't have a bathroom, what are you going to do? You going to hold it all day? No, you're going to go. And that's what's happening here. We have people in our government, and I'm not just talking California, I'm talking all over. If you guys are paying taxes, you're giving your money to stewards. You're giving your money to the people that are in charge of your cities, your mayors, your council members, all these people. They're in charge of doing with your tax money what you earmark that tax money for. You know, we all have budgets. I'm on a budget. I budget so much for gas, so much for the bills, pay the rent, all those things. All my money is accounted for. And when I don't have money to do that, guess what? I'm a bad steward. I wasted and frittered away the money I had to save for those things. Now, granted, it's not fun. It's never fun. I would rather have the money to spend and have a good time, maybe go to the movies, maybe go take a nice vacation, but I can't do that. See, I'm not rich. I don't have the abundance of cash to just say, hey, let's go see a concert, or let's go, to Europe for a month. I don't have that kind of money. I'm lucky if I can get away and go to Knott's Berry Farm for the day. But I'm a good steward with that which God has blessed me with. You see, I worked hard for my pension. I worked hard for my Social Security. And I'm not going to waste it away on frivolous spending just because I want to feel good. But see, that's what happens when you have bad stewards in charge, and especially in our government. When you have people in charge and you voted these people in because they promised you they would do a good job, and they don't, guess what? Number one, they lied to you. Number two, they're stealing from you. Number three, they're padding their pockets in order that they can live a lavish life while you live in poverty. And that's what's happening today. I see it here in California. $1.2 billion. Can you imagine what that would have done to clean up maybe San Francisco and Los Angeles and Orange County and Riverside? We got homeless everywhere. Nothing drives me crazier than seeing homeless just living on the streets, pushing their carts with all their possessions. The people in LA, when they cleaned up all that mess, they gathered all the carts, and it says they emptied the carts. And as they emptied the carts, rats ran out of the carts. So they're pushing these rats around to all these areas. Where are you living? Do you live in Brentwood? Do you live in Hollywood? Do you live in Holmby Hills? I guarantee you, if you got a homeless person roaming your streets, he's carrying rats in his basket. Just for you. And guess what? Everybody, all your politicians are going to sit there and put their hands out and say, we need more money in order to solve this problem. Tell you what, it says right there in verse 2, it says that the rich man told the steward, give an account because you are no longer a steward. I want to know what you did with every penny I gave you. I think it's time for us as Christians to make a stand and tell our local government and leaders, give us an account. I want to see every penny. Is it going to your pocket to pay your paychecks, to pay your staff paychecks? Where's all the overhead? $1.2 billion, that's a lot of overhead. And nothing getting done? That tells me you've wasted money somewhere. You're a bad steward. And I'm calling out California's leadership. You guys are bad stewards. And I hope this gets to you guys. I hope people on Facebook will share this with their leaders. I'm going to make sure I share this with President Trump. I'm going to put it on his Twitter account. I'm going to tag him. Why? Because I want him to know that as a concerned citizen, I want everybody to be a good steward with what I give. Because I don't have a lot to give, but I give it regardless. Today, family, don't be a bad steward. And hold accountable those that are stewards for you. The Gavin Newsoms, the Gil Garcettis, whoever your mayor is of your town, your city council members. You can hold them accountable. Are they living high on the hog? And you're living in squalor? You have homeless people? I live in a gated community, and I even saw a homeless guy roaming through here dumpster diving. Wait a minute. It's a secure community. How did he get in? But you know what? He had to go through the dumpsters to find stuff. That's pretty sad. What are we doing today, family? Are we holding those who we give money to accountable, as it says in Luke 16? Take a moment. Just read it for yourself. You see, when you're a bad steward, you're called to accountability. And I'm calling California's leadership to accountability. I want to know what you do with our money and why you're living high on the hog. the Nancy Pelosi's, the Maxine Waters, you know, the Kamala Harris's, the Gavin Newsoms, the Garcetti. I want to know what you guys are doing with the money we give you, because apparently I don't see nothing done. $1.2 billion and nothing is fixed. Everything is the same. We still have potholes in the street. You guys are getting a gas tax. Good stewardship means things get done because they do what's right with the money that it's earmarked for. They don't say, oh, let's rob Peter to pay Paul. Hey, this is Paul's money. Put it where Paul wanted it to be. And that's what we should hold accountable. We should hold our leadership accountable for what they spend and how they spend it. I want to see it, man. I would love them to just write me and say, look, here's a full accounting of all the tax money that we get in California and how we spend it. I bet you would be surprised how wasteful and what a non-steward really does with your tax dollars. You see, the Bible tells us to be a good steward. The Bible says it. It's right there. And it's even in red letters. Jesus said it himself to his disciples because he wanted them to know, you guys are going to be held accountable. I give you the gospel. I give you the word of life. And you need to be accountable to it, just like I'm accountable to it. Linda and I are praying for you. May you have a blessed day. May God look upon you and bring you peace today. The leadership here at Rock, Pastor Tony and myself, we are praying for you daily, that you are a good steward with everything that God has given unto you, and that you may have the most awesome, blessed day. May He pour out His blessings upon you and bring you peace today as you go about your daily tasks. We love you, and we'll talk to you real soon. Bye-bye, guys.